I first started learning about astrology, I had no clue like the structure that you follow, or I didn't have a structure when I was doing readings for other people. I'd just be very sporadic and I never knew how to structure my readings. Obviously, I just booked a lot of astrologers and just took notes on the type of readings I liked and enjoyed and the style of readings that resonated with me. But that costs money. So I figured I'd just do an example chart reading so that you can see it and hear it and take notes of what you do and don't like. This is also a homework assignment, and I just figured I'd make it into a video, because why not? I'm going to pretend that this is just a video I'm sending to my client, so there's no client interaction. Typically, I'd have questions. It'd be more of a conversation, but yeah, for the sake of the video. Hi, Derek. Since this is a video reading, I can't get any feedback from you as I'm doing it, obviously, so I'm just going to assume that you know nothing about astrology, and I'm going to operate accordingly, okay? I'm going to read your chart as if you know nothing, and if you know something, then that's great. So I'm going to start with your big three. If you've heard of that, it's your sun, moon, and rising. And then I'm just going to go into other points in your chart that stick out to me. I didn't see any questions that you'd specifically like answered in this reading, so I'm really just going to flow with it and see what comes up for me. The first thing, your big three, to start with your rising sign. So you're a Leo rising. Leo risings are, in my opinion, the epitome of big chest energy, the type to just walk in. They just have this puff in their chest. It's pride. They're more party, depending on the rest of their chart, depending on the rest of your chart, a Leo rising is pretty ready to entertain, the type to show off, honestly, at least in public. Maybe not in a room with their close friends, but if they're out at a restaurant or out somewhere, yeah, they want to puff their chest. They want to flip their hair. They want to make sure that they're seen. And regardless, if you resonate with wanting to be seen or not wanting to be seen, there's definitely a theme of spotlight when it comes to how people perceive you and how you walk into a room. Your sun is in Cancer. If you've ever seen a meme or a tweet about Cancers, they're probably calling them crybabies and referencing how sensitive they are. A lot of Cancers resent that, and I respect that. I get that. That's annoying. I'm an Aries, and people always say we're so aggressive. No, we're not. So your Cancer sun is in the 12th house. 12th house represents isolation. It represents the subconscious. It's very intuitive. It's the unseen world, if you will. That Cancer sensitivity, it might not be so big and bright. Those waves of emotion, they absolutely occur, I would assume, but they're definitely not something you like to share. Cancer, being a water sign, is intuitive, and being in the 12th house of subconscious, that intuition might come to you without you even realizing it. Like you know things or you sense things and you don't know why you know them, but you do. Number three in your big three is your moon. So your moon is the sense of comfort in your life. It's how you process your emotions. It's that inside world. So your moon is in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio as an archetype is private, intense. It's also a water sign. Think about it like the deep sea. There's things that seem scary that you might just be more comfortable with. It's just your natural world, like the deep sea and those freaking lanternfish that gave me nightmares for years. That's just normal to you. It's not a big deal. So that said, moon, how we seek comfort, Scorpio, familiar with discomfort. That combo can be tough at times, but it can also become a real strength of yours. You can really face the ugly side of life the way that others really can't. That Scorpio moon is in your 4th house. 4th house represents home. Again, your sense of security. It has to do with your family, your mom, your lineage. You get the point. That Scorpio moon, your comfort with privacy and intensity most likely comes from your family or your upbringing. So basically your upbringing influenced you to value privacy and security and exposed you to maybe some ugly side of life early on. Like I said, that can be a real strength of yours. That's your big three. You got a fire rising sign, loud and proud when you walk into a room, and then you've got a water sun and a water moon. You're emotional, but it's nobody's business. Moving on to some other key parts of your chart. Mars is right next to your moon. Mars is the planet of aggression, assertion, drive. It's the source of energy in your chart. Mars in Scorpio is very happy. Mars in Scorpio, They're perfect together. I'm going to be honest with you. When I see a Scorpio Mars, you're good at grudges. You never forget. If someone slights you, if someone hurts you, you're not going to forget that. But on top of that, I would say you're highly motivated by your family, for your family. See all that action in the fourth house. Family, upbringing, home is a huge theme for you. I see your Virgo Venus is in your second house. Venus represents your desires, your affections. It's your love language. It's your personal aesthetic. The archetype of Virgo brings a full-on first aid kit to a hike. Okay, they're type A. Virgo is practical. Consider it like acts of service. Let me make your life better. Virgo Venus tells me that despite your water, sun, and moon, you being very mushy, you still understand the practical side of love. And that might not always be too romantic. Maybe it's not always well received. But you understand that love is not just hugs and kisses. It's also changing plans. It's going out of your way for someone and making someone's life better. This Virgo Venus, this practical sense of love is in your second house. Your second house represents your wallet, your money, your resources. It's that type of sense of security in your life. So, in short, you love money. Your love language might also involve gifts being in the second house. So your Venus in Virgo is exactly trine or in harmony with your Jupiter in the 10th house. Wherever Jupiter is in a chart, it expands it. Jupiter is optimism. If well placed, it's good fortune. So this planet of abundance, expansion, opportunity in the sign of Taurus, Taurus representing money, material world, stability, is in your 10th house of public image, career, that life direction. This good luck, fortune, optimism, expansion as it relates to finances in your career is in a perfect harmony with your affection for money, your practical types of love. So if you want me to actually sum that up, basically your career and your finances are almost too easy. It's just too easy for you. It's not fair to promise everybody with a Jupiter in the 10th that they're going to have like exorbitant wealth or like a hyper successful career. But I will say it is far easier for you than it is for others. Whether or not you take advantage of that, that's up to you. I would say there's less obstacles for you than others. And that said, look at that little 10 slice right there. So Jupiter is there, and then there's Saturn right after. This tells me that you have good fortune in your career. Like you're just lucky, you luck out. Soon after, the universe is like, okay, time to get to work. It's almost like you're flying high, you're just winning, and you get these blessings right after. The universe is like, okay, but are you working for them? Are you taking advantage of it? Are you being responsible about it? And if you're not, things fall. Things just crumble. But if you're responsible with those blessings and you don't take them for granted and assume that they're going to last forever, that will build an incredible foundation, literally as big and beautiful as you want it to be. When it comes to your career especially, and your public image, don't take those blessings for granted. I'm sure you've seen them kind of slip through your fingers before. Learn those lessons. Don't take them for granted. Appreciate what you got, and it'll stick around. The last thing I'll say is your north and south node. Your nodes are always on opposite sides of the chart. Your north node represents where you're heading in life, what's increasing. It's the side of life that you've not yet mastered, but you're naturally inclined to work on and practice. Your south node is what you already came in this life knowing. Your south node represents your innate talents. Your north node is what you have to work at, but more than likely you want to work at it. Your south node is in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships. You're already pretty well equipped when it comes to those committed partnerships, not just dating around, but real partnership. Your north node is obviously on the opposite side of that. That is the 1st house of self, independence. So you came into this life knowing how to be in a relationship. If I had to guess, you're probably always in a relationship, or you always had that real best friend by your side. You always had a partner in crime or whatever. You don't have to work at it. You just always have someone by your side. Your north node is that independence. So there's this push-pull between I need to know how to do this on my own, and why would I get rid of this valuable relationship? The lesson of the nodes is to find that natural balance between independence and codependence. Just want to leave you with that. Don't take your blessings for granted. Find your balance between others and self, and alone time is valuable, but don't escape into it. And take care of your hair because your Leo rising deserves it. That was basically how I'd go through a chart. Obviously, it would be more conversational. I basically just had some notes up of the certain points I wanted to hit or the planets I wanted to talk about, and I let the rest flow accordingly. Big three, certain planets. Obviously, this was miniature reading, so I didn't get to go nearly as in depth as I would have in an hour-long reading. But yeah, that's how it goes. If you like how I read, my style of reading, you can book a reading in the link in my bio. Thank you for watching till the end. Good luck, and you got this.